Before he was the greatest, before the gold medals, the global fame, and the unforgettable fights, he was just a boy from Louisville. Born Cassius Marcellus Clay Jr. in 1942, he grew up in a segregated America, where opportunities for black families were few and dreams were even fewer. But young Cassius had a dream, and it all started with a stolen bicycle. When Ali's bike was stolen at the age of 12, he stormed into a local police station, furious. "I'm gonna whip whoever stole my bike," he declared. Officer Joe Martin, a part-time boxing coach, smiled and said, "Well, you better learn how to fight first." That moment changed everything. Ali stepped into Columbia Gym, lanky, quick, and full of energy. Joe Martin saw potential, but it was Fred Stoner, his first serious coach, who shaped that potential into real boxing skill. Ali trained like no one else. His younger brother Rudy would throw rocks at him just to sharpen his reflexes. By 16, Ali won the Golden Gloves. By 18, he graduated high school and won national boxing titles. And then, Rome, 1960. He stood on the Olympic podium, gold medal in hand, a beaming young man who had just put the world on notice. Cassius Clay was no ordinary boxer. After the Olympics, he turned pro, fast, loud, charismatic. People loved him, or hated him, but they watched. Backed by the Louisville sponsoring group and trained by the legendary Angelo Dundee, Ali was now on a mission. And then, in 1964, he shocked the world. Ali, at just 22, faced Sonny Liston, the undefeated heavyweight champion. Everyone expected Clay to fall, but Ali danced, dodged, stung, chanting his iconic words, "Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee." He beat Liston and proclaimed to the world, "I am the greatest." But the biggest shock came after the fight. Cassius Clay announced he had joined the Nation of Islam and changed his name to Muhammad Ali. The media was stunned. Critics attacked him. But Ali was unmoved. Inspired by Malcolm X and guided by his faith, he embraced Islam, not as a trend, but as a life conviction. He said goodbye to his slave name and stood proudly in his truth. In 1967, when the U.S. called him to fight in Vietnam, Ali refused. "I ain't got no quarrel with them Viet Cong." That single line made him a hero to millions, and a villain to many more. He was stripped of his title, banned from boxing, and sentenced to 5 years in prison, a conviction later overturned by the Supreme Court. But in that moment, Ali lost everything, except his courage. 3 years later, Ali returned. The boxing world waited. First came Joe Frazier, a brutal bout Ali lost, but he didn't stop. In 1974 came the fight of the decade, the Rumble in the Jungle, Ali versus George Foreman in Zaire. Ali used the legendary rope-a-dope strategy, let Foreman tire himself out, then struck with explosive force. Ali reclaimed the heavyweight championship, becoming the first boxer to do it twice. And then, the Thrilla in Manila. Ali versus Frazier, one last time. A war in the ring, and a masterpiece of endurance. Ali won. But both men left part of themselves in that ring. Ali's story wasn't just about boxing, it was about belief. He married, had children, and continued to speak out. For justice, for Islam, for the oppressed. He supported Palestinian rights, brought aid to Africa and Asia, and even negotiated for hostages in Lebanon and Iraq. He made over $50 million in his career, and gave much of it away to charity. Ali wasn't just a fighter in the ring, he was a fighter for humanity. By the 1980s, Ali was battling a new opponent, Parkinson's disease. His hands trembled, but his spirit never wavered. In 1996, the world watched, breath held, as he lit the Olympic torch in Atlanta. His body was weak, but his courage burned brighter than ever. He was named Sports Personality of the Century by the BBC, honored by presidents, kings, and the United Nations. In his hometown, the Muhammad Ali Center stands tall, a tribute to 6 values he lived by: confidence, conviction, dedication, giving, respect, spirituality. On June 2, 2016, at the age of 74, Muhammad Ali passed away. His funeral was broadcast around the world, watched by over 1 billion people. Presidents, royalty, imams, pastors, rabbis, and millions of ordinary fans said goodbye to a man who was not just the greatest boxer, but one of the greatest human beings to ever live. If Muhammad Ali's story inspired you, like, share, and subscribe for more powerful biographies.